Think about the day you retired. You probably had a plan for the money, but did you have a plan for the Monday? Let me ask you another question that might feel just a bit uncomfortable. Are you actually retired from your job, or have you accidentally retired from your life? Come to the show. I'm Bill Hennessy, the Retirement Igniter, and today we're talking about why so many people cross the finish line of their career only to realize they've forgotten how to run the race of life. Many people, they spend decades planning for the financial number, but almost no time planning for the new you that emerges when the lights go out. Let's be honest about what retirement feels like after the first 3 weeks. That permanent vacation phase starts to wear thin, and you might feel busy, but bored. Your calendar's full of errands, but your soul feels empty. Some years ago, I started thinking about retirement, and I guess I wanted to reinvent myself. I had in my mind that I had to have a Harley and take to the winding road. I could picture myself with the wind in my face, wearing a big grin. I'm not sure what I would have done about the bugs. It sounded good. I even had my eye on my first bike, a Harley Speedster. Fortunately for me, I had the sense to take a motorcycle safety course to see whether I actually had the stuff to ride my dream bike. I sat through boring classes Friday night with the anticipation of knocking it out of the park on the bike the next day. That's a laugh. I hated every moment of it. The bike didn't fit me. I was intimidated by the acceleration. I wasn't sure of myself in braking. In other words, I think I figured out I'm not designed for two wheels. So I sucked up my courage and went home, grateful to God that I hadn't laid down thousands of dollars before I found all this out. Contrast this with the guy I'll call Dave. Dave had a dream, a fantasy, a goal. He wanted to retire, grab his wife Marge and hop into a truck and fifth wheel trailer and live the life of a gypsy. He went all out. He spent $210,000 for the fifth wheel with deluxe everything, all the bells and whistles. He bought a brand new F-350 diesel to pull it when he realized his Toyota Tacoma wasn't up to the challenge. He outfitted the fifth wheel with extra lighting, a large screen TV, the works. It might have been a good idea to bring his wife Marge into the picture. She never said too much as he drooled over his brochures, but the look she gave him should have sent a warning signal. They took to the road, heading to his first dream destination, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It was hardly a dream journey. The roads were winding and the hills were steep, and while the huge diesel power plant had the power to pull the fifth wheel, the engine noise gave Marge a raging headache. Then they got to the RV park. The park lanes seemed really narrow, and the pull-through spaces were long gone by people who had gotten there first. And finally, locating a space, Dave tried to back his rig into the oddly shaped lot. All eyes were on him as he made 5 attempts before finally backing it in, even though not quite correctly. He didn't feel joy. He felt shamed by the smirks on the faces of the small crowd that stopped to watch the novice gain hard-fought experience. That couple stayed 2 nights, then headed off to their next destination in a driving mountain rainstorm. In Tennessee, it was harrowing. At the end of the third day, they headed home. Dave, frustrated by the experience and perhaps some of Marge's comments, sold the entire rig for 30 cents on the dollar. Moral of the story, don't be Dave. For 30 or 40 years, you were the manager, the specialist, the provider. Now, when someone asks what you do, the silence can be deafening. We think doing whatever we want is the goal, but without structure, that freedom quickly starts to feel like a prison of isolation and aimlessness. Here's the shift we need to make today. Retirement is not a finish line. It's a pivot. For me, that meant instead of retiring, I took on new roles. I became the lead pastor of an international church. I started a nonprofit welcome center for those who are new to our country. These aren't the kind of positions that bolster my resume. They're passion projects that allow me to bank on decades of experience. And best of all, I get to sense God's pleasure. Like me, your wisdom didn't expire when you stopped getting a paycheck. In fact, your wisdom is your new currency. You haven't reached the end of your impact. You've just reached a new assignment. So it's time to stop looking at retirement as the ending and start seeing it as the ignition for your next 20 years. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, I want more than a comfortable chair and a TV remote, then it's time to move on from planning for the money to planning for the Monday. I want to invite you to take a real step toward that new vision. Go to retirementIgniter.com, my website, and check out the retreat page. There you're going to find all the details for the Ignite Your Retirement Retreat. It's 4 days designed to help you redefine the next 2 decades and find the clarity you've been looking for. It's going to be held May 17th through the 20th in Branson, Missouri. Stop over explaining your past and start living for your future. I'll see you at the retreat. Until next time, I'm Bill Hennessy, the Retirement Igniter.